Point to the passer.
So good when you get everybody involved, in particular your bigs. You get them going, they'll run the court faster, and guess what? They'll set harder screens because they're actually in the game.
Curry to Thompson. Beyond the arc for three. Message received. Well defended. A bad pass there. Warriors have it. To Curry. Gets it in the left corner. Green. Rebounds taken down by Leonard. Leonard to George. Fires the three. He made his first effort, but not that time.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
George, great defense, forcing the miss.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Good, off a spin.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Paul George, he's now 4 for 6.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Russell into the front court. Right now, down 7. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Russell to Thompson. Russell to Green. Thompson cleaning the offensive glass. The follow won't go either. Beverly into the front court. Up 5. Leonard. Jay, another one goes down. They're right where they want to be.
Exactly. Next play, you have to turn around defensively and get in the stance and actually keep that same kind of tempo.
Steve Kerr gonna call a timeout. His guys have come out flat. Slow start in this first quarter. Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Livingston to Alec Burks. Thompson. Jay, they've been waiting for that to go down, but here they are trying to chip away and cut into this margin.
And there's nothing more frustrating as a shooter to get open looks and not see the ball go in. But if they do, that could be the start of a problem.
Leonard to Beverly. George, he's now shooting 5 for 7.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Warriors basketball. Klay Thompson against Paul George. To Sean Livingston. Knocked loose, and that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Clippers. It stays with Golden State. Thompson to Alec Burks. For 3, buries it on the catch and shoot.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
And stuffs it home.
That's a good run right here to end the first quarter to open up that lead. If you're the coach of this team, you have to like the effort your guys are giving.
Livingston driving, but his shot won't go down.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
Flushes it home.
The assist from number 21, Patrick Beverly.
He'll put it up at the buzzer, and he can't connect there. Shot no good. Horn sounds, ending the first quarter of play. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. Leonard. Oh, that's how it's done.
For average shooters, that's not a great shot. But for a great shooter, that's a good look.
Missed it. They weren't going to give that to him.
And this happens all the time in this league. Sometimes offensively, you're tired. It's one of those type of nights. You combine that with the fact that the defense is hungry and active and contesting everything, that's why shots aren't dropping.
Hand in his face, no good for Alec Burks. Kawhi Leonard against the former Cougar. To Beverly. George shakes free and hits.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Now the Warriors gonna call a timeout as they'll talk things over here in the second quarter. Thompson. Montrezl Harrell tips it. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Lou Williams. Alec Burks. And they call the foul. Felt the breeze there, Jay.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor.
Into the game for Golden State, number 30.
Bad pass there. Clippers have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
To Leonard. Nice pass to set things up.
Ed, see, this is simple. This is where the PG pulls the bigs over to the side and says, we can't allow that to happen. You need to be an enforcer down low.
Russell to Green. And the basket good at the rim.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Leonard. Kevon Looney with a piece.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
Thompson to bring it into the front court. 14-point deficit. Not easy.
Man, you making people dance out there? I see you with the footwork.
To Paul George. A lot of contact on that play. He plays through it and scores.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Kawhi Leonard against Klay Thompson. Going to launch beyond the arc. Kawhi Leonard. Can't ask for much more. He's perfect. 5 for 5 from the field.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
To the rim. Lays it up and in.
Curry, obviously the greatest shooter we've ever seen. Yeah, I said it. But he's so good at driving and using his body to shield off the contact.
Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
And last year, it seemed like PG really had a difficult time finding that next-level elite PG. No doubt about it, this year, he needs to be playoff P all day, every day.
Changes coming from both sides right now. Russell with it up top. His guys currently down by 13. And a chance coming up at the line.
Ed, as a defender, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot foul in the act of upward motion into your shot. Your timing needs to be better.
First try, no good. Good recovery. Hits the second free throw. Clippers have the basketball. Got it.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Leonard. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
Beverly into the front court. Under a minute to go before halftime. Kawhi Leonard. It's like he's shooting into the ocean. He has not missed. Warriors have the basketball. And finishes. Draymond takes it out on the rim.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Leonard. And the finish. Slam dunk.
It's so amazing when you get a chance to see a player in his own space. It's almost as if the defense doesn't exist. He can go left, he can go right, he can attack. He's playing on that court by himself.
Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. It's PG for 2. He shoots, off the mark. Thompson to bring it into the front court. His guys trail by 13. And too much contact.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 1.
Beverly into the front court. His guys should be able to get the final shot. Strong finisher, Paul George. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Rocking the rim. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen. First half, very one-sided. What will the second half bring? We'll find out as we're underway. George. He was all over him.
In the first half, he pretty much made every single shot. It was magical to watch. But now that you have drawn so much attention, try to get your teammates more involved.
Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
Leonard had made his first three, but that shot off the mark. If you're a fan, you love the will and the want. George, Green always looking for the steal. Baseline drive, but he can't finish.
And when you miss so many chippies right around the rim, you look at their points in the paint production. First half, they were great. Second half, not so much.
Throws it down.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Here's Curry with it up top. The deficit now up to 13. Too easy. Defense has to communicate.
And it just seems like the defense has lethargic closeouts. You need to close out with more of a sense of urgency. Run them off the three-point line. Make them take a tough two rather than an easy three.
Goes to the left side. Green. That's off the side of the rim. Short. To Leonard. George buries the wide-open three. That's too easy.
I know he's a volume shooter. I know defensively at times you have to take your lumps. Might be time to adjust the scouting report, though. Start denying him the ball.
Willie Cauley-Stein lays it in.
And ISO basketball is becoming a thing of the past. Team basketball is back. And if you have that personnel with the versatility plus the mindset, game over.
Warriors have the basketball. Curry to the basket, but it won't go down.
It's easy for the offense to get agitated when you keep turning around and the defense is right there in your face. The jawing is only going to escalate.
And the finish at the rim.
Okay, you don't get a 10 for style points, but it worked.
Curry into the front court. Down a bundle. Here's a chance from long range. He engulfed him that time.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
On a bad pass. Going to be taken away by the Warriors.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you'll be able to stop a great passing team.
It's Curry controlling the offense. To Russell. Curry. D'Angelo Russell. Shot off the mark. Good defense.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
And scores, plus the foul. Draymond Green with a chance at three, coming up at the line.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Gets it in the left corner. That's toughness right there. Physical inside, gets it to go.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
We get a whistle and a timeout by Golden State as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. The opposing coach is going to counter, make some changes of his own. Steph Curry, tough matchup against George. Fires the three, and Stephen Curry. We say it time and time again. Not much the defense could have done there.
Even though the coach initially may not like that shot, now he's clapping because that ball went in.
Leonard, and he buries it.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in a defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Paul George locked in, hits the tough three.
Well, they're shooting the ball at an amazing clip, and when they shoot the ball this well, they're essentially unguardable. And Ed, let me tell you what that does for the team. It eventually opens up space to put the ball down on the ground and get to the rim. That's how critical the three-point shot is.
George, he's not shy about shooting it from out there, but he misses this time. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
And that transition offense was flawless. When guys fan out and actually fill the lanes with a sense of urgency, you heard me correctly, a sense of urgency, you will get a great shot every possession.
Oh, they call him for the foul.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Team foul number 1. First foul in the last 2 minutes.
Lou Williams. Better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
That ends the third quarter, and a nice advantage right now for the Clippers. The Warriors won the opening tip, so they have it to start the fourth quarter, and they've really had very little go right for them on either end of the floor.
Remember that old line, your attitude determines your altitude? Well, when you see dejected faces on the sideline, that poor body language gave you an impression that they had no chance to win this game.
The assist from number 4.
Curry has it. 4-3. Tough shot. Well defended.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Lou Williams. Not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2.
You know, it reminds me out of a story a legendary coach once told me. He said, if you ever get in a fight, you're not going to hit somebody with an open hand, correct? You'll probably break a finger. But if you hit somebody with a fist, what is that? That's 5 fingers working collectively together as one. That's how you deliver a knockout punch, and that's what we're seeing tonight.
Paul George gets it in the right corner. Williams to George. Lets it fly from long range. Paul George can't get that one to go. Defense all over him.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
It's George for 2, and he buries it.
This may sound cheesy, but sometimes you just need to sit back, get a tub of popcorn, and just enjoy the show, because that's what you're watching right now.
Russell matched up with Paul George. Here comes the screen. Curry, and they call it.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
That's his first
New blood coming in for both sides.
Substitutions, Los Angeles. Into the game for the Warriors. Number 11, Klay
Russell
Thompson.
buries it on the catch and shoot.
I hope everyone here knows the golden rule. Guys, remember, sharing is caring.
LA Clippers with the basketball. Here's Leonard for 2. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it.
I get tired of hearing guys say, I was there, I contested a shot, I pretty much had a hand in his face. Well, no, you have to change up the game. If a guy is right-handed, he is right eye dominant. Get that hand over his right eye, block his vision. That'll enhance his chances of missing the shot.
Leaving no doubt. Slams it down. At this point, they're twisting in the wind.
Were you looking for a response from me? Because I don't really know what else there is to even say. I mean, is this even a game? I mean, we should just start packing up and getting ready to go right now.
Kawhi Leonard pins it.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
And a throwdown.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
D'Angelo Russell, too good to leave that wide open. D'Angelo Russell hits.
I know there are refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
To Curry. Doesn't get the bounce.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Sheer strength to slam it down. He ran right through the gauntlet.
This is where I go back into player mode. If the dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
To Leonard. Oh, stolen by the Warriors.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Curry, he's had a good shooting performance, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
Yeah, no one else pretty much helped out. As a coach, I would be irate that nobody helped pick up the slack. Look, one man can never beat five.
He has certainly been on target from downtown. He's 4 of 5 from three-point range.
Let me tell you why. He's been receiving his passes on time and on target. Give the passer some credit in this scenario as well.
Green to Thompson from long range. Textbook defense.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Now the Warriors gonna call a timeout. They're down big in this fourth quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
There's no stopping that. You either got to double or deny him the ball from the jump.
George, tough matchup with Draymond Green. It's no good. Shots not going down. Curry to Russell. Lets it fly from beyond the arc, and it's Leonard there to clear the rebound.
And you knew this game had a chance to get out of hand pretty quickly because of the communication. When these guys stepped on the court, Ed, they were yapping back and forth to each other. And that kind of communication, that kind of collective responsibility to one another, you feel that on the court. That's why this team is special.
Oh, yeah, it's me and you.
George, that right there, Jay, his 8th three of the game. He is putting on a show.
He's defying physics with that jumper. He's not even holding his foul through.
It's the Clippers who come away with the victory as they win this one in blowout fashion. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen.